it's their timeline, not yours. And as long as they're receiving your content, as long as they're along for the ride, it's proving of value to them. Continue to do that. Continue to serve not just them, but your entire audience.
The Bombcast, mercifully short stories for the trusted advisor.
And I noticed that you guys also do email campaigns as well. Do you have any types of best practices for advisors on how to manage, like, hey, these people are actually engaging with your emails, you should probably give them a call, or hey, nobody has responded or opened an email in 8 months, maybe you should send a personalized one to see if they're interested, or if you should remove them?
Yeah, for sure. So first off, any replies that come in, if somebody replies, even if it's just like, hey, I enjoyed your content, reply back. They just gave you a lifeline. They just let you know, hey, I'm reading your content. Yeah. Not just that, but by the fact that they replied, they're going to improve. They're kind of improving your email deliverability credit score. They're replying. It's proving to the system, hey, these people are enjoying what they're receiving. They're getting value from what they're receiving. Aside from that, it really is just, hey, jump into your dashboard. Look at your metrics. Look at the names of some of the people who are opening and clicking. Maybe they haven't replied, but see if it's clicking with them, if it's resonating with them. And the other thing too is, like, let's say they've opened it and they've read it. Maybe they've clicked an email or two. Don't be too put out if they don't become a client overnight. Again, this is all about their timeline. And unfortunately, it's not about your timeline. I know we could all use all the customers in the world, all the customers that we could ever have overnight in the next 24 hours. But you and I both know that's not a reality. So if you're an advisor, you're expecting a client, remember, it's their timeline, not yours. And as long as they're receiving your content, as long as they're along for the ride, it's proving of value to them. Continue to do that. Continue to serve not just them, but your entire audience. I hear stories all the time from advisors that say things like, hey, I had this woman, she was an engineer at XYZ company. I've had her on my list for 1.5 years. I've had her on my list for 2 years. And only recently did she reach out. I had no clue. She never replied to anything. I had no clue she was getting something from what I was sending her. It was only after there was an event that triggered a need, that triggered her like top of mind area of the brain, that brought up my name as the advisor that she should talk to, that she then contacted. And by the way, she told me, hey, I've been getting your content. Thanks so much.
That's like a surprise and delight moment for any customer. What? You've been getting my content for 2 years and you came to me. You didn't have to go chasing. There was no cold prospecting. It was just nurturing value on a consistent basis over 2 years. That's phenomenal.
Personally, I mean, I'm on quite a few different email lists. There are some companies, there are tech tools, there are agencies that I've inquired about, that I've downloaded their demo. I'm not ready right now. I haven't unsubscribed from their emails because I don't want to forget them. I wanted to stay on my radar, and I'm not going to add on my calendar. Sometimes I do this, like, hey, check into this in Q4 2024. But I enjoy the emails. I'm getting value from them. There are 2 services. I can't even remember the name because the guy stopped following up with me. I didn't get added to a list. So I would have to go through my archives in order to find it. But that presents an opportunity for a competitor.
Yep.
They can swoop in. They can start sending me valuable emails about the service, painting a picture of what life is going to be like on the other side. I've had the same thing happen with candidates too, with job candidates. They've gotten in touch with me personally. I've had a few that actually follow up with me. To this day, I have a few candidates that I still talk to. I haven't hired them. There isn't really a spot or a role for them yet. But guess what? If that becomes available, guess what? I have a name that's going to come to mind. And it's because they've had the discipline to follow up with me, to be human, to ask questions, to let me know how they're doing, and to maintain that relationship with me. Versus I've had other people completely drop the ball. I had one candidate who applied, sent me a video of himself. He said, hey, I'm not very experienced. I don't really qualify for this role, but I would love for you to give me the chance. In fact, I wouldn't mind working for free. I could be an intern for a little bit. I love marketing. I have all these different heroes I'm a fan of. And then he mentioned like, different people. He's like Neil Patel and Russell Brunson and like what the team at Drift is doing over here. I sent him an email immediately and said, hey, I saw your video. I don't have a role for you right now, but I'd love to chat with you. Why don't we jump on a Zoom call this week? I'd love to learn a little bit more about you and make that connection and keep in touch with you because we are growing so fast. I know a position will open up soon and maybe there's an opportunity there. He replied to me a few hours later and said, I respectfully decline your invitation. And he never contacted me again. And I was like, oh, I wasn't hurt as in, do you know who I am? Because like I'm nobody. Like it's not an ego thing. I was like, dude, I just threw you a lifeline. This could have been a cool relationship where I kept in touch with you. You kept in touch with me. You're talking to a leader at a company that you think is pretty cool. And it sounds like you're not doing anything right now and you'd like to level up. Take that shot, man.
The Bombcast. Mercifully short stories for the trusted advisor.